We've been debating the right pronunciation of the name. Is it Laxolo or Luxolo?
Laxolo. Laxolo.
Both are wrong, Christina. You guys should learn the clicks, you know. My name is a click.
Oh goodness.
Do you know Asha Komongisha?
Yes.
Komongisha.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys must put Asha Komongisha on speed dial. She will teach you how to pronunciate my name.
Okay.
The Laxolo.
Sorry? No. My name is Luke Paul.
Look.
Oh, goodness me. Apologies. Let's stick to Lux. I think that's an easy way out, right?
Let's visit South Africa.
No, I'm Ugandan.
Good to have you.
Into a country I don't know.
Good to have you. How are you doing this evening?
I am from NTV. Why are you sending me to some country I don't know?
How are you doing this evening? Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so excited to be with you guys. I was in Uganda not so long ago for the CHAN, and Uganda feels like home to me. So I'm very excited to be with you guys, and I'm always watching and following online what you guys say. And I was listening to the debate here today, and I can hear you guys are already psyched up, ready to beat Nigeria, ready to beat everyone else in your group. Exciting times, isn't it?
All right, let's get into it. From where you sit when it does come to preparations, how ready are you? The tournament is just 5 days away.
I've lost more hair than I've ever had, but this is the most exciting time for Africa. I think African football is going through an evolution. This is a time of a true renaissance. And the issue, now we have the net benefit of having the right leader always. Everything in life is about leadership. I remember coming to CAF in 2021, and AFCON was seen as an inconvenience in Europe. Actually, a lot of people saw it as a nuisance. But today, there is a unprecedented global interest in AFCON. Unbelievable and unprecedented global demand on AFCON, and the unpredictable nature of it. For us, and certainly for Dr. Patrice Motsepe, it's not just about the 90 minutes. It's about the platform for Africa to reposition itself, no longer as the second cousin in African football or in global affairs, but for Africa that is a player in global affairs, not an invited guest. Football is the most powerful platform we can use to rebrand our own motherland. And that's how we see AFCON, and this AFCON will succeed as it must.
Okay, you will allow us to call you Lux because we are not going to manage. We'll do the lessons much later after the show. But as Andrew and Emans do come in, speak to us about how much work is involved in organizing such a tournament, because we sit here and say CAF, CAF, CAF. But take us through how much work is involved in organizing such a tournament.
I think all of us, we come to the office at 8 o'clock, we leave at around 11 midnight every day. Certainly, I'm still at the office myself right now. Some of my colleagues have been here for the last 8 months, living in Morocco permanently. It's a huge operation on itself, to prepare the 24 teams, for the 24 teams. For the first time in AFCON, we've got 9 venues. For the first time, we've got team-based camp. For the first time, we've got match directors. And for the first time, we've got over 90 different broadcasters from all over the world that are going to be showing the AFCON, including for the first time in the United Kingdom, in free-to-air, in the UK, in Brazil, in the Far East. We just concluded a deal in Japan this morning, by the way. These are exciting times, but it's a lot of hard work. Again, I go back to the value of leadership. My friends always tease me to say that, listen, you stay awake because at 1 a.m. your president calls you to ask you for update. And that's what happens when you've got a leadership that holds you accountable for results and only results.
Lux, normally when we come to tournaments and TV, the success of the tournament is sometimes, most times, measured on TV audience. So, and that's why you're thinking money, you know, you start talking billions now. You move away from millions. So, this time around, in terms of viewership, what are the numbers are you guys projecting to say that now we are actually competing with the big boys in terms of big tournaments in the world?
Well, I mean, look, AFCON already is ranked as the third biggest football tournament in the world. This is after the World Cup, after the Euros. I'm talking about the national teams, you know. It's number 3 after the World Cup, FIFA, after Euros in Europe, ahead of everyone else. This is the net impact of African football. You are right in talking about the viewership. I'm nervous and excited at the same time. Nervous because this is the first time we go to a competition. You know, I was saying I've been now at CAF for 2 AFCONs. And in both AFCONs, everyone is hoping we succeed, but thinking the Africans will fail. It's the first AFCON we go to whereby people expect us to succeed. That probably is the biggest frightening experience for me because, you know, when everyone expects you to succeed, you become complacent. And complacency is the enemy of innovation.
Yeah, my question will go to the positioning of the AFCON. I mean, there's been a little bit of debate between clubs and national teams in Africa, trying to, because when you look at the United lineup right now, you see 3 stars who are supposed to be at the AFCON, but they've not yet moved to their teams. What do you think is the way forward for CAF and positioning of the AFCON, and for how long shall we see this happening? When you look at the players who are really employed by these clubs on a full-time basis, but there is a window in which they should be released to join their national teams and compete and represent their countries. But that backlash just doesn't seem to go out with the AFCON. We've seen, I mean, there's respect, of course, for the Euros, the Copa America, and all these other tournaments where is it that the AFCON happens at the wrong time, or what exactly is the way forward anyway? When you look at the timing and the fact that clubs are competing at the high level, and now the players have to come out and represent their country.
I think the fight over the calendar is not only in Africa, my friend. In Europe, they are fighting about exactly the same thing today. In Asia, this is a topical issue today. But what you also see is a very normalized relationship between Africa, UEFA, Europe, and European Club Association. If you remember in the past, what used to happen is this ECA and UEFA used to issue statements and clubs fighting with CAF publicly. You never see this today. Why? Because at a higher level, Dr. Patrice Motsepe and, for example, at NASA, and Al Khalif at
Uganda Cranes manager was speaking about how some teams were, you know, threatening to terminate the contracts of players if they, you know, joined Uganda or showed up for the Africa Cup of Nations. Is that something that CAF has noticed yet?
Yeah, but let's stop trying to create drama where there is none, really, you know. There's no such thing, really. Well, not that we are aware of, you know. By the way, if you remember, the last World Cup in Qatar, do you know what was the release date for this, Christina? Do you know how many days were clubs asked to release the players? 5 days. 5.
Yeah.
So it's not an African problem. I keep on saying this. In 2022 Qatar World Cup, clubs had 5 days to release. In the AFCON, it's 6 days to 5 days. So it's actually 6 days at AFCON. So I think we must not look at this from a very impractical solution. I don't know who your coach is talking about, but I don't know. I know Dennis Onyango is released. I don't think anyone is threatening to cancel his contract.
Lux, maybe before we leave that issue, as you speak, you know, within CAF, is there a practical way forward on this?
the solution is not in CAF. The solution is a global conversation. There is a big debate on the match calendar, not African match calendar, global match calendar. You know that there's a bit of a disagreement between FIFA, FIFPro, UEFA, and everyone else, ECA. Africa is just part of that ecosystem. We are not in isolation. We are being affected by this debate. Why are we playing AFCON in December? It's a global calendar. We don't want to play AFCON in December, by the way. It's great, by the way, because on Christmas Day, day before Christmas, you guys will be sitting watching TV, and the following day, you guys are playing Nigeria. So, you know, it's great in that sense, but we would rather play in January or June, July, by the way. But it's the global calendar. It's got nothing to do with whether people respect or don't respect Africa. It's global interest and the global calendar.
Speak to us about the ticket sales. The last time we checked, with 12 days to go, about what, 80,000 tickets were sold. We did see reports indicating that the tickets for Uganda, Tunisia were done, and we're like, what do you mean?
Who bought them?
Who bought them?
No, but I mean, over 1 million tickets are sold for AFCON. We are looking at record revenues for this AFCON, by the way. We've already exceeded all our own expectations when it comes to revenue for this AFCON. The tickets for the opening match were sold in 1 hour, you know. So there's a great deal of excitement for it. And the Ugandans still have time to purchase the tickets. They're online. I think you know that for the first time in a long time, the tickets are just available online, hospitality and also the normal tickets. And you can purchase yours and watch and go to fairs where you guys will be playing Tanzania, Nigeria, and of course Tunisia.
Yeah, and maybe my question will go to access to Morocco. When you look at most of the events, say AFCON, countries are required to, the citizens of different countries are required to have visas to get entry into Morocco. How easy is that for someone, say in Uganda, to buy a ticket and actually access Morocco and watch his matches?
No, there's a lot of work CAF is doing, interacting with the local organizing committee with the government of Morocco to try and resolve any other challenges that might exist in the space. It's a work in progress. I mean, the question of visa is, I think it's a question in America today, it's a question in Morocco, in all the global sporting events. I'm sure in the next few days, all the other issues we might have and experience in this space will be resolved.
Lux, Andre again here. The infrastructure is a big issue in Africa. And you guys at CAF, I can see the excitement. You're almost overwhelmed. You can't wait. But it does help that you're actually going to Morocco because in terms of infrastructure, just how much confidence has Morocco given you?
I think CAF has got these uncompromising standards. You guys know with Chen, I mean, we're not too popular in some of your parts of the world, whereby we insist on these global standards. You know, we have to say only the best for Africa. CAF is AFCON is a template. Of course, Morocco has made available some of the best infrastructure. Really great credits to them, and a lot of credits to what they have been able to achieve and do in making sure that this competition succeeds as it must. And of course, as I say, East Africa's time is next, and there are standards for everyone to meet. There's no, because it's in Uganda, let's do this. Because it's in South Africa, let's do that.
Okay, by the way, Lux, thanks to you, because we got to move with the times in terms of, you know, living up to the standards that you set at Chan. We only can imagine how AFCON will be. So it was good to see even.
But look at what Chan did to East African football.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys realize that for the first time, people have got interest in what is happening in your countries.
Absolutely.
In football, which they would have never had before.
Absolutely.
Look at what's happening in Kenya. Look at yourselves. I think the most trending video was that of President Museveni reprimanding the defense about not covering up for the keeper. You know?
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, that at least we got a taste of what international standards are by hosting CHAN, and we can only imagine how it will be in AFCON 2027. But Luxby, I'd love us to speak into the deliberate actions that you are doing at CAF. I saw the diaspora tour. We have our colleague Clive Chaze, who is in some bus, I don't know, whatever car it is, but they are going through African countries, all the way to Morocco. The other day he happened to pass by a country where there was an attempted coup, but bringing Africa all together in that way, that's quite intentional. What are you trying to achieve as CAF?
I mean, look, that tour is done by the LOC, of course. I mean, we are not necessarily that involved in it, but it's their way of trying to spread the message of AFCON to the rest of the continent. The diaspora tour that happened in London and in Paris was a CAF initiative. It's part of the trophy tour of AFCON. African football must be globally competitive. It must be a global affair. Just as much as Ugandan football, you know, the Uganda Premier League must be available not just in Uganda. It must be watched all over. You cannot be insular. And by the way, we want to make sure that African football commercially is competing successfully so that you don't have to sell Dennis Onyango to a Sundowns. You must keep Dennis to play for KCC, to play for Vipers and wherever. We have to keep our best talent in our countries, not in a protectionism kind of way, but in ensuring that we keep the interest in our own thing that we build. This is the message of Dr. Petrus Motsepe.
And maybe talking about tickets, because I know that it's been a very big conversation around the World Cup that is coming up.
And after the tournament, the stadia remains as, you know, contributing to society. To avoid this whole thing of, oh, we've built this, now the tournament is done, what do we do with this? As CAF off the pitch, some of the legacy projects that you are doing to ensure that AFCON doesn't end with the final. It continues in terms of...
Yeah, but if there is one question that, I don't want to use the word irritates me, but if there is one question that gets to me is this one.
Yeah.
We are living in a continent that doesn't have resources already, stadiums and all. Why are we even raising this as a question? The question we should be asking ourselves is to think this word sustainability.
One of the hosts for the FIFA World Cup in 2030.
By the way, I wasn't fighting you. I was just addressing the issue.
She has a thick skin.
When you look at this AFCON, how much do you think it will prepare Morocco for the World Cup?
We are not preparing Morocco for the World Cup. We are hosting an AFCON in Morocco. That is the most important thing. The AFCON is not a dress rehearsal for anything. It's up to Morocco to decide how they want to approach the AFCON. But we are here to host a competition until the 18th of January. And of course, hopefully Morocco, there will be a legacy in human.
So the Yellow app, and I think it points to what Andrew did speak about earlier on, that is basically to help, I think, people want to access Morocco for the Africa Cup of Nations.
Visas and all.
The visas and all. But please take us through this app and, you know, how many services does it really offer to a Ugandan, for example, who wants to go to Morocco and watch the cranes?
I mean, look, the intended purpose of the Yellow app is to create and make a bit of ease in applying for e-visas and all those other things. Now, admittedly...
Speak about the organization, but I'd love us to drift a little bit into the group that has South Africa, Angola, Egypt, and Zimbabwe.
I don't want to talk about South Africa. I work for CAF.
Oh, okay. So you don't know how it's going to pan out in that group?
I think the AFCON is the most unpredictable global competition you'll ever find. In South America, when Libertadores play, we almost have an idea of where it's going to go. In Euro, I can tell you maybe the top 2 teams that will be in the final or 3 teams that will be in the final. Not at AFCON, by the way. You can never tell. Uganda can be in the final. Tanzania can be in the final. Hopefully both.
You're now being patriotic on our behalf, clearly. But speaking to our group, because you don't have pressure for Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Kenya are not in this discussion. Tunisia and Nigeria.
Listen, Kenya is my friends, okay? These are my friends.
They haven't had, but yeah, speak to us, to our group. What do you think, how do you gauge us, Uganda, against Tanzania, Tunisia, and Nigeria?
I mean, you guys are a very tough player, tough team. I think Nigeria is wounded, is coming here very wounded, and they are going to try and prove a point. Tunisia is a very, very tough opponent, very stable. They had a very difficult AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, so maybe they are coming to prove a point. Tanzania is, both you and Tanzania are hosting. So you want to create an interest and generate interest in your own groups, in your own countries. So, you've got a very interesting group with interesting dynamics. If you look on paper, people might say Nigeria, Tunisia, but I differ. I say it can be anyone. Because on any day you guys will play Nigeria, I'm sure you're going to put a fight. And, I'm going to be that match in Fez. And let's see what happens.
Who will you be rooting for in Group C? It's got to be Uganda.
Look, the good thing about me is that I don't know anything about football, so I'm not qualified to root for
You're a politician. You're a politician. I think he's a friend of everyone in CAF and Africa.
Well, I think one of the things I can tell you is that one of the players expected to be a star at the AFCON has just scored for Manchester United.
Okay.
That is Amad Diallo.
Okay. All right.
Lux, I'd love to know, these things matter to me. AFCON, how many countries are going to watch AFCON on TV?
Yeah, we're going to release that information on Friday. Stay tuned, man. It's exciting. Friday.
Okay, and the numbers, what are you looking at? I know that's still on Friday, but we like to preview them. I saw somewhere 1.8 billion views. Were those in one AFCON or cumulative?
That was the last AFCON.
The last AFCON. 1.8. So that's the benchmark. So it's good to go up.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not allowed to talk about those things until they are released officially, as you can imagine. But what I can tell you is that last week we signed 18 new broadcasters in Europe. 18. We've never had this kind of number in Europe in our lives, in the CAF history, by the way. I'm glad when you guys speak and ask me questions about a lot of these things. In the past, I'm very happy to hear that you guys talk like this about African football, I must tell you, because the conversation now is about value. It's about commercial viability. It's about the impact, numbers and all. I must say I'm super impressed with you guys and your approach on this matter.
Thank you. Now that you're super impressed, and we are also happy, we are impressed with you being on the air. The standards of officiating at CHAN, I don't know if this is in your scope, but you're speaking for CAF. What should we expect now? How comfortable are you with the standards of officiating heading into AFCON? And we have someone there. I think we have Nabadda. Shamira Nabadda, our lady, she's there. So yeah, how's the preparedness of officiation?
There's two things I know. One is that the last AFCON, was rated as among the best in the refereeing and all. The second thing is this: when my team lose in my village there at home where I come from, the referee is useless. When the team wins,
yes,
the referee was the best.
Okay, so you've answered Lux. Lux, you're a politician. I think Motsepe is grooming you well, clearly.
Could be grooming him for. Let's not get to it. I was going to say could be grooming him for the next. But we'll not get into it. But Lux, as we come to the
Christina, you are very mischievous.
Christina. She's called Christine.
I forgive Lux because I also struggled with his name. We'll give each other lessons much later.
Christine, you're way too controversial for me.
No, that's because of Andrew. But anyway, Lux, as we come to the end of this conversation, we've spoken about a range of things, from the preparations, from where you sit at CAF, to the host country, Morocco, to everything else. Andrew trying to bring in a bit of officiation. But we are 5 days away, if I'm not mistaken. Depending on where you are, you might be counting 4 days. The 21st of December, all eyes will be on Africa. Yeah, so we can finally say it's all systems go.
I have different emotions, anxious, anticipating, nervous, a great deal of suppressed excitement, but mainly focus.
I like how brief he is, and we will try to extract as much as possible, because I realize Lux is quite, you can only release what you want to release. So Lux, Sunday, opening day,
Yes.
opening match, opening ceremony. What should I expect to see? What should the billions of people who will be tuned in expect to see on TV? Opening ceremony, which guests are we seeing at the opening ceremony?
Yes.
Which
the
entertainment, the artists, like we want to see what kind of Africa are we going to see on Sunday on the opening ceremony?
Yeah, for the first time, 45 cameras bringing you live on high definition football. The opening ceremony is going to be a celebration of African culture plus Moroccan heritage, but also with global superstar. A day before the opening match, by the way, there is a music concert that is going to be played here in Rabat. So CAF is trying to bring together not just football, music, culture, fashion, and passion, and all these are melting points that make African football special. I'm personally very excited about the opening ceremony. I saw a bit of elements of it today, and I think it's something we are all going to be proud of.
Okay, I think that's what I should have asked earlier on, had kind of skipped my mind, is some of the, should I call them rules or regulations, or the information shared by CAF, for example, is information regarding the teams, how CAF will be taking care of 28. I've seen a list of things that are prohibited from stadiums. Can you please take us through that? Because I've seen different lists that have different things. I'm like, okay, so which list is what, including things like vuvuzelas and stuff like that. And there has been a debate about vuvuzelas, for example. Even a Chan here in the country, Ugandans couldn't understand how you are not allowing vuvuzelas.
Actually, I was very happy that they were not there.
It's a polarizing subject, isn't it? I mean, as a South African, I know this question of vuvuzela, it divides everyone. I think, the rules are, this is not to be a this word of prohibited and all sounds hectic and heavy, but the reality of it is that we always have to ensure that there is a level of what you can bring, what you cannot bring in the stadiums. It's normal, very normal. So I think and hope that you guys can be able to be there. It's easier always to warn spectators ahead of time of what to expect. In that way, they bring the items that are allowed.
And of course, it's also a clash of cultures. When you talk about Morocco.
Clash?
Yeah. Because you have different...
Why the word clash?
Clash of cultures.
It's a clash of cultures because you have different countries coming to Morocco.
I think it's a meeting. It's a meeting of cultures rather than clash.
Okay, it's a blend of cultures. Yeah, if you like. But if you talk about
clash, it means that when we Africans meet, we fight.
For example, we clash with Tunisia. There's no two ways about that.
It's not very far from the truth. But well, when you look at the difference, of course, in culture, Morocco and the rest of Africa, maybe someone from East Africa, what are the do's and don'ts? We watched the World Cup where people were restricted from really. Those who like the bitter drink had to either come with it on their heads or find it outside. I don't know. What is it like in Morocco?
And he is speaking for himself.
But
and
Morocco,
yeah.
Morocco is fairly a very open country. You know, it's a very open country. You will find it a very open country. So you can come here, really have fun. I don't think there's a lot of that. Come and experience yourself, man. It's going to be exciting, I think, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Andrew said, we want to clarify that this gentleman here, Lux, is speaking for himself when he asks about having to come with a drink on your head. But of course, Lux, we're not going to let you go without speaking about Pamoja.
Yes.
Pamoja. You know what's up? It's our time. It's our time.
Your take on Chan and ahead of AFCON, what are you expecting? AFCON 2020.
Chan is 15%.
Yeah.
Chan is only 15% of what is required at AFCON.
Wow.
If you guys were complaining about Chan, you must wait until AFCON. More bigger requirements because the standards must be maintained. And East Africa is under a lot of pressure. But you guys must embrace this as an opportunity to market your own countries and region to the rest of the world, because there is no bigger platform to position your countries. We cannot see Uganda as the way the Western media profiles it. The story of Uganda must be told, and football will be that platform.
Yeah, and
so Pamoja is Pamoja is in Pamoja people's hands.
Yeah, you were here, of course, for Chan. I don't know what exactly you saw. You talk about AFCON, of course, it's a much bigger tournament, but Chan was really Uganda's first opportunity into something like this. And maybe you could talk about the whole of East Africa. Of course, we had Nambole here. We are going to add a few other facilities that I'm sure you're aware of. But when you look at the entire organization, specifically for Uganda, I don't know, how would you rate the part that Uganda played in the organization of Chan?
I think the entire East African community outdid themselves with Chan. Really was a pleasant surprise for everybody else. But there's a reality check. AFCON is a much bigger stage, and there's a lot of work for all of us to do. So much work, and
yeah, still
so
on
we
that,
must all embrace it that way.
Sorry. Still on that, why did East Africa win the bid? What was the game changer?
You must ask those who were voting. I didn't vote.
No, Lux, you
the
know.
executive committee was the one.
You are the one who arranges the communication, so surely you know these things.
I do arrange, but I don't vote. You know, the EXCO is the one that votes on these things. And
did they tell you?
There was a very impressive bid which was made by the three countries.
Yeah.
And it won over Algeria and other people. But you have it now for 2 years, man. You can no longer be asking me this 2 years later. Now the question is, how can I make this work?
So what should we do to take care of the remaining 70,
go back,
85%?
Go to work.
You said this was just 15.
Go to work.
Go to work.
Okay.
Go to work.
Okay.
100%. Go to work. You've got to now. I mean, no time for talking. People must work. Everybody must work. Focus on work. Work. And now, when I say you, I mean the people of Uganda. That's what I mean. You know, we must go to work.
Okay, and you can be.
There's a lot of it.
You can be very sure that we are at work. We are at work. I don't know how much you've been following SportKnights. Last Monday we were at a very interesting facility, and trust me when I say that's just a tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, we did a show from the Hoima City Stadium last Monday.
Guys.
Yes, please.
Let me tell you something, guys.
Yeah.
Big competitions are not just for football. They are also a platform for people in different spheres to market themselves and to launch their careers. I'll tell you personally, had it not been for the FIFA World Cup in my country, I would have never worked at FIFA. In the media industry in my country, it transformed a lot of the journalists who were there and made them global players in the industry. So you guys, you've got to think to yourself at an individual level, where do I fit in the story of my country and my region, taking this stage at a global level?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, goodness me. This conversation is an interesting one that could go on and on. But Lux, we have come to the end of this conversation. So we just want to pick your parting shots and then we'll say good night and see you in Morocco maybe.
Can't wait for Sunday, guys. Watch the game live. I think it will be 11 o'clock in your country, in your part of the world. And we can't wait to watch this AFCON. It's going to be exciting.
Lux, as you go, which month were you born? I got you.
This is, man, I've heard this joke many times.
Got you. Were you born in December or September?
It's going to be...
It depends which language I'm using. When I use Isikosa, my language, it's a different language, man.
Lux, as we conclude, I will try and bail out this team, and I hope I get this one right. So I want to say, so that way I get to brag here, I want to say Siabonga. Please say I'm right. I am right, okay? That's right. Yeah, please tell them. Yes, right. Yes. He says I'm right, guys. I'm helping you tell Lux that thank you.
Lux, thank you.
His name?
Thank you in your language, Lux.
There you have it.
It's been nice.
So I really enjoyed this, guys. I'll see you very soon, and really thank you for the opportunity to talk to the people of my other country in Uganda.
Sure.
All right, Lux, thank you so very much for joining us and your insights on the Africa Cup of Nations that will be starting this just 5 days away. Just 5 days away. All right, there you have it. Lux.